do not forget to drink your water and always hashtag stay hydrated. Alright, let's go. Hey guys, Harsh here and welcome back to Technolobe. Now last year around July 2019, I upgraded from a 2015 MacBook Air to a 2019 4K iMac. Now that was a massive upgrade in terms of performance and I have been completely happy with my iMac, but there's just one small problem. The iMac is not portable. I cannot carry it around everywhere with me because come on, I am not MKBHD. Sorry Marquez. But that's the truth, the iMac is not portable and that's why I wanted to buy a laptop for my day-to-day work. Not for my main video editing work, but a laptop which is capable of handling some light video editing and my other normal day-to-day stuff. And that's why I bought the M1 MacBook Air. Now before buying this laptop, I saw a lot of reviews from Western YouTubers saying that this is the best MacBook Air that Apple has ever built. And they're not wrong. This is in fact the best MacBook Air that Apple has ever built. Let's start by talking about that display. So this one comes with a Retina display and it is amazing. Really good viewing angles, excellent colors. It gets bright enough to use outdoors if you're in a cafe or something like that. And I have zero complaints with the display. There's just one small thing that if the bezels were even smaller, then that would have been perfect. But that's just a normal thing and I'm nitpicking at this point about the display. So no complaints over there. Now up until 2019, Apple had severe issues with their keyboard, but that has been fixed with 2020 laptops. They finally realized that the thin scissor mechanism keyboards were trash and they replaced them with the Magic Keyboard. So Magic Keyboard is really good amount of travel, the keys feel clicky and it is a backlit keyboard as well. So there are individual LEDs for each key and the backlighting is pretty good. There's just one small thing that they removed the dedicated button for controlling the backlighting. Now you have to go into the Big Sur software and do that. So I wish that there were hardware buttons for this on the MacBook Air. That's not the case. Now while we're on the subject of keyboard, let's talk about that trackpad. So I have mixed feelings about the trackpad on this laptop because it is a force touch trackpad. So it's not like it's a physical button and that causes a problem if you're using 2 or 3 fingers together. For example, if I'm holding one finger down and if I want to scroll, then sometimes I faced issues with the trackpad. So it hasn't been a smooth experience for me in terms of the trackpad at least. Alright, moving on, let's talk about the input-output ports. It's a very easy section because there are literally only 3 ports, 2 USB Type-C port with support for Thunderbolt 3 and 1 headphone jack. So yeah, Apple is giving you the headphone jack over here and be grateful for that because we never know when Apple will remove the headphone jack. But apart from that, there are only 2 Thunderbolt 3 ports and this is definitely a con. Especially because both of them are on the same side and very close together. So if you attach a big dongle, then it's going to cover the entire 2 ports and that is very inconvenient. So Apple should have given 3 or 4 ports or at least put the ports on either sides because that would have been the perfect scenario. But that's not the case and the number of ports are less and inconvenient. Also, these dongles are not cheap at all. You will have to spend somewhere around 7,000 to 8,000 rupees on a dongle if you want to get the speeds and the right amount of ports. So please keep that in mind as well. Now let's talk about the thing where I was wrong, the title of this video. I was wrong, but kind of, and that is the performance. So with these new M1 chips, Apple claimed that they are way faster than Intel chips and they are not wrong. Now when I made my first impressions video about this laptop, I said that the performance is a little overhyped. Now that is true to some extent, but I think that I did not convey my point properly in that video. So I'm going to try to do that right now. Now when it comes to performance, there are different people with different workflows. I'm going to be talking about my workflow, that is 4K video editing on Final Cut Pro 10. Now when it comes to video editing, the timeline is very smooth. So scrubbing through the timeline is extremely smooth and the fastest that I've ever seen on a MacBook Air. Like even my iMac stutters if I put like 4 4K files on top of each other, but the MacBook Air M1 did not drop a sweat when it comes to scrubbing through the timeline, and that is excellent. Even the whole video editing process was extremely smooth and I did not notice any lags whatsoever. So in that aspect, when you're working, it is extremely fast and extremely snappy, and that is a very good thing. Now here's the thing, in my impressions video I said that it could not beat my iMac in video rendering times, and that is true. Now why is that true? Because my iMac comes with a dedicated GPU which uses metal. So it has a dedicated GPU and uses metal. That's why it is faster for video rendering, only for rendering. Apart from that, in terms of day-to-day usage, the MacBook Air M1 is definitely faster. So that was a specific workflow. But apart from that, for day-to-day usage, this laptop flies through macOS Big Sur. It does not drop a sweat in any form, and that is excellent. So the performance is definitely very good, and I would not expect a baseline MacBook Air to perform so well. Like with the last model of MacBook Air, the entry level would come with a Core i3 processor, and as compared to that, this is miles better. Now I hope that I've conveyed my message right over here and you get the point. This gets me to the most amazing part with this laptop, and that is battery life. When Apple launched this laptop, they claimed a lot of big numbers in terms of battery life, and they are not wrong. All those numbers are somewhat true, like 90% true, and the battery life has been just amazing with the M1 MacBook Air. Even if I'm planning to edit a video for 2 or 3 hours and the battery is at like 40%, I would not care because I know that it will last, and that is a very good thing. So job well done in terms of battery life, and kudos to Apple. Now with that being said, the charging times are extremely slow. So the included charger is very slow. It feels like a smartphone charger, and I think Apple should have given a more faster charger with this laptop. So the charging speeds are really slow. It will take you somewhere about 2 to 2.5 hours for this laptop to charge up completely, and that is kind of slow in 2020. Now because of the M1 chip, the MacBook Air does not have a fan whatsoever, and that is going to help in terms of long-term usage. So there are no moving parts inside this laptop, and that's why it is going to last a longer time. Now obviously it will throttle if you push it to its limits. Like if the CPU is at 100% power for 7 to 8 minutes, then yes, it will throttle because of the heat, but that is not an issue. It is a MacBook Air and you should not push it to its limits. Please keep that in mind. It is still a MacBook Air. All in all, I have been very happy with the M1 MacBook Air as my secondary laptop. Would I buy this as my main primary laptop? Probably not. I would definitely wait for what's next in store with these new custom Apple chips, because if the start is so good, then I cannot imagine what Apple will do with their next generation of chipsets and possibly dedicated GPUs. I want to see that, and I'm really excited for that. I'm going to leave it there. So this was my full review of the M1 MacBook Air. Do let me know how you feel about this video in the comment section down below. If you like this content, go ahead and hit that like button. And also, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. It would mean the world to me. My name is Harsh Punjabi, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.